All right, so welcome to this Corona conversation. I am joined by my friend Cameron Scandal. Welcome to my program. I'm not sure where I'm going to put this yet, but you had a program, recently at school about sports,
I
the Scandal
did.
Sports
Yes.
Hour. So now,
Yes,
since
yes.
we're not going back to school and sports are canceled, how do you
Yes.
feel? Is it sad? Is it like
About my show being canceled or about sports being canceled or
everything is
both?
just insane? No more show,
It
no more sports in general?
nah, no, no, no. Yeah, it sucks. There's definitely a void that's been taken out of my heart and soul.
Yeah.
And that is sports and that is my show. And the two of them together was a big thing for me. I've talked about and looked around. Putting my show on different platforms, but even yeah, I can't have a show if there's no sports going on. So I'm at a standstill right now.
Yeah, and what do you think about all the stars sharing their like stories and like celebrities in general? I don't know if you saw this yet, but all of these celebrities came together and they thought it would
Mm,
be a great idea to sing the one, is it a John Lennon song?
I don't know.
Did you see that? It was some
Mm,
type of stupid they got together and they sang a song together and they thought it would make the whole world feel so joyful. And all these athletes are posting from their homes and Arnold Schwarzenegger is posting from his homes. But the only difference between them and us when we come to like quarantine and social distancing is
yeah,
they're like sending us these videos from mansions
right.
and they're saying play inside and they show Ben Simmons shooting a basketball
In
like
his
in his
personal court.
in his
Yeah,
10-car garage.
yeah.
Do you think that's making people like this more, or do you think it makes them more like really? Come on, guys, you have no idea what it's like for regular people.
I mean, their intentions are there, and their intentions are good. I mean,
Yeah.
they're obviously just trying to spread the message of like stay inside and make the most out of what you have indoors. And obviously, their situation is different than ours because, and I just talked about that like earlier, how like if I was an NBA player or a celebrity and I had a mansion with tens of millions of dollars, like
Uh-huh.
I'd be living my best life because there's no work, there's no practice, you're just chilling at home doing whatever.
Mm.
But like it's different for us who don't do anything because we can't because there's nothing to do. But their intentions were good,
Yeah, and
you
we
know.
had a special scenario last night with Jamal Murray accidentally releasing a video of his girlfriend pleasuring him to his Instagram story. So this guy at night, he has to be on something either high or drunk and he doesn't realize or he purposely, not in the right state of
Or
mind.
he said he was hacked.
Or he was hacked. That's what everybody says. I was
Right,
hacked. Whenever they post something stupid or accidentally, they're like, "Oh, we're trying to figure this issue out. I don't know how they got us, but
right,
I'm being infiltrated by a Russian force or something like
right,
that."
right.
But like in that position, him and his girlfriend, I mean, they have to be done, right? I mean, I
Oh
can't
yeah,
see.
her life's got to be ruined.
Do you think she just left after that was posted? I mean, I would if I was in her
Yeah, I
position,
mean, guess say if imagine if roles were reversed. Yeah, I'd be done. I would leave.
I wouldn't be doing that exactly.
No, yeah,
But no, yeah, so every single school basically is canceled. Colleges are official. I don't know if they officially did like regular schools, K through 12 and all that.
I have
Knowing
no
what you
idea.
know so far about what's going on and all that, do you think it's even worth it for like the high schools to try to do like prom and graduation? Or at this point, would you just say whatever?
How well you can't do all those things and still practice distancing
Yeah.
and like prom and graduation are big things where like family member maybe not prom per se but definitely graduation is
Hmm.
definitely a big event that you have like relatives from different parts of the country or state come to see you, you know, walk across the stage, and if they're from somewhere that has a lot of cases,
Hmm.
then that's not good for anybody.
Yeah, it's more people traveling.
Right. So I don't know what you would do because like obviously as a like if I were a high school senior, I would want to have my graduation and prom, but it's hard to make that call. I wouldn't know what to do honestly.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, of course, the graduating class, like at our old high school, 2 years ago now,
Mm.
our old high school, they're gonna be mad and they're gonna be upset.
Right.
But when you look at the holistic view of it, you're like, okay, 100 kids, 150 kids upset versus they have graduation, everybody travels, like you said. They come
Mhm.
into a big hall, and 5 grandparents are down. You know what I
Right.
mean? So it's like that pain isn't justifiable for the joy. I know we're
Right.
like a society that's like centered on short-term joy, and it's hard to not like pass that up and to see the bigger picture.
Mhm.
But yeah, and it's not going to be done by them.
No.
Have you seen Donald Trump's approach to this? You're not a big political guy like I am,
No.
but have you seen what he's been doing?
No.
He just makes up conspiracy theories. He yells about stuff. This man, this has been spreading throughout the entire country, the entire world.
Theories about the virus?
Yes, he's just like, now he's blaming Chinese people.
Oh
So
yeah,
like
the China virus.
it originated in China,
Yeah.
and the government did try to like keep it in house, and they didn't tell the rest of the world until it was too late. And there was one doctor who was like slaughtered mentally by the government and everything because this one doctor let out the secrets about the coronavirus
Right.
and let it out to the world before it became a huge issue. And what he's doing now is like this has been spreading throughout the whole country. I mean, keep saying country, but the whole globe
Right.
for months.
Right.
Like we've known about this since January, and I'm sure you haven't heard about it by the media or Trump until now. Like
Right.
this was a sudden thing. Like a week ago, we weren't thinking like our
Like
whole
we
lives were going to
knew.
be uprooted.
Yeah, like we knew it was there, but we didn't know how much of a problem it actually was.
Yeah, so Trump in January, he's like, "This isn't real. This is a hoax by the Democratic Party to knock me off my pedestal." And
He didn't
then
say that.
he said it was a Democratic hoax. In January there were like 10 cases. He's like, "We don't care." February there was a cruise ship with a bunch of Americans on it that had coronavirus. He didn't want the Americans to get off the cruise ship and get help because if they came on American soil, he was scared that their numbers would be counted into America to like our infected number. So there, he said to the people on the cruise ship, which is torturous. Like imagine
Yeah.
you're on a cruise ship with a disease, and they're like, "All right, you're staying on here.
Yeah, you
I know
can't
there's
get
vents
off.
and shit, but you know
Yeah.
we'll take our chances. We don't want our numbers to rise up." Called it fake. Called it fake. March 1 through 5th, 1st through 5th,
Mhm.
he was like, "It's still fake." And then, literally in 3 days, he's like, "All right, oh shit, this is a national crisis." Because people started dying and hospitals started becoming overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So this man is now blaming it on Chinese people, and there's already reports of Chinese people being attacked, or Asian Americans in general. Not Chinese people, but they're Chinese Americans and Asian Americans, because we
Mhm.
can't tell the difference between Japan and all that. We're too stupid
Sure.
to even tell the difference between two different brands of cereal in America.
Sure.
But yeah, so they're getting attacked, and he's trying to blame everything on China to take all the blame away from him. Although we've known about this forever, and he's just being a Donald about it.
Mhm.
So like, are you mad that not just that everything was uprooted, but we didn't even know about it like a week ago?
So what is the question?
Like, if we were not prepared for it, why would Trump wait until exactly now to do it? Are you mad that his ego overcame that? Because if he prepared,
Well, yeah, obviously, like because he knew but didn't do anything until it was too late is definitely an issue. Like if as a leader and especially as a president or just any sort of leader of a nation to put your own personal agendas and beliefs before the country that you swore to do your best to protect and whatnot is that defeats the purpose of being the leader of a country.
yeah.
It's contradictory.
And there's this one guy, Mitt Romney. He ran against
Right.
Obama in
Right.
2012.
Right.
He has been in contact with another member of the Senate who has coronavirus,
Oh
and
yeah.
now he is quarantined and locked up by himself, basically. And a reporter asked Trump about it, and he said, gee, that's too bad, because Romney and him butt heads. So he's like making a joke out of this entire thing,
Yeah,
screaming
that's
conspiracy theories, and people believe it. Have you seen any really outrageous ones?
theories. No.
Yeah, or not just theories, but like health tips on Facebook. Like if you drink enough hot water. Did you see that one?
No.
It said if you drink if you drink hot water every 20 minutes or warm water or a warm liquid. The post says coronavirus stays in your neck before it or your throat before it infects you. So if you drink warm
I did
water
see
every
that.
20 minutes, it will go into your stomach and die.
Oh, yes.
So
Yes,
people are sharing this stuff
that makes
around.
sense.
Yeah,
That
that's how
makes sense.
viruses work. It's just kind of like you swallow, like, I don't even know, an example of something with sauce on it, and it gets stuck in your
Spaghetti.
throat. You're like, oh, just wash it down. You're eating some spaghetti, just wash it down. Just drink some water if you have coronavirus. So if you drink, so I bet there's some wackos out there drinking warm water every 20 minutes and thinking, huh, those losers,
I'm
I don't
safe.
even need a
Yeah.
vaccine. I'm safe right now.
I wonder what anti-vax moms are gonna do.
That's what they were saying. Like, when there's finally a vaccine for it, they better not be taking that vaccine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, because they're talking all this crap. They're like, my children can develop a superior immune system because we're gonna let smallpox come back, and they're like, "Ha! I showed you doctors. I have Google Plus or whatever that is."
Right.
But like, there's a couple of them that are really really bad. There's that one theory that's being pushed around. This one people believe. So a lot of people had like a cold, like a month ago or 2 months ago,
Yeah.
and now they're saying, "Oh, I already had the corona. I already had the beer flu. I already got it. I'm immune now." And they're like, "Oh, I had it
Nope.
already. I'm immune."
Nope.
So I mean, I guess I can't transmit it and get my friggin'
It's not how that works.
get all the old people killed.
No, sir.
Like I put a poll on my Snapchat story or Instagram story. Did you vote on that?
This one about the old people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like, "Are you taking coronavirus seriously?" Yes said, yes, because I'm not a dickbag. And no said, no, I want all old people dead, or I want old people dead.
That makes sense.
So I think that's some very good comedy.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think about all the people buying up all the toilet paper?
Those people are morons, straight morons. Like, cause when you panic prep, that means that you think that you're gonna be stuck inside your house for like months, maybe years on end, and you
Mhm.
can't go outside ever. That's not what this is.
Mhm.
Like, if as long as you keep your distance from people and you stay clean, like you don't have to like ration up your house. Like that's not that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, so like there's a couple of people thinking exactly like you just said, like these doomsday preppers or whatever. They're
Yeah.
like, "Oh no, I have to hurry get the toilet paper."
That's
And
not
then
what
there's
this
another
is.
group that follows after them, and they're like, "Oh no, all the wackos are buying the toilet paper. I gotta buy a couple of stacks."
Yeah.
So they go and they buy toilet paper, and the cycle continues.
Yeah.
But I was at, you know how they're setting like limits on what you can buy now at certain
Yeah.
stores?
Yeah.
So at Wise's, which is a local grocery store here, there was a guy trying to buy 3 cases of water, but the limit was 2.
Okay.
So guess what the cashier said to
What?
him? She's like, "Okay, so you have 2 bottles of big water, so you cannot take 3 bottles in one order, so I have to ring you out twice." So what they did, that's a terrible voice. So he was trying to buy 3 of them. You can only buy
Yeah.
2 at once. So she
Well-
said, "I'm just going to ring you out twice."
Then why don't you just scan 2 of them and not the third one?
Well, that's what she did. She scanned 2 of them, finished the receipt, and then scanned them again. So there's no actual limit. They're letting them have a workaround for it. So there's
Oh,
still
I see what
people,
you're saying.
they're
Okay,
still
okay.
piling up. They just go in and out of the store, and now they're making it easy and accessible. You just have to get 2 different receipts.
That's stupid.
Would you,
That-
what?
That defeats the whole purpose.
Yeah. So they don't care.
That's dumb.
Do you think it would be a good idea if there was like a law about it? If there's like a national emergency declared that people can't like just buy a bunch of stuff? Like maybe like say the governor is like, "Hey, we're probably gonna all die. So like how about we go stock up on stuff, but you can only buy 2 legally." Do you think that'd be a good law?
So like you mean like what you're saying now, but it goes on a national level, or like what you're saying like with the receipts, like how you can only buy 2 water bottles.
Yeah, but it'd be enforceable by law. It'd be like a law or like a guideline during national emergencies. Grocery stores, since they're vital infrastructure, they have to limit people's purchasing so that no one, goes
Yeah.
without toilet paper and stuff.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but then like how you gonna enforce that? Because like you can have the same dickbags working the cashier that will or that'll do the same thing with the receipts.
Well, you have to tell them to put something in their system that just doesn't let them do that. I don't know. Or the managers or something like that. At least have it as a guideline so that stores don't wait until this point to do it.
Right.
Because at least I'm sure some grocery stores are doing it correctly. So at
Yeah.
least if you have guidelines ahead of time, they're thinking, okay, these are the rules. Even if
Yeah.
some don't follow it, at least it starts off that
Right.
way. But like, what kind of idiot, dude? Toilet paper. the world is ending, and you're like, oh crap, I gotta wipe my
Yeah,
butt.
why toilet paper? Like, why is that the big thing?
There has to be some type of study on it because if you buy a 6 pack of toilet paper for a family of four, that should last you a good amount of time. There's a lot of
Yeah,
unless if you're quadruple wiping that crap.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
why are you buying so much? And now they're jacking up the prices of it. I got like 2 rolls for like $1,000. I had to take out a loan from
Is
my.
that illegal?
It
Jack
is.
up prices when there's when there's like an
Maybe they just had the expensive brand left. I don't know.
oh
But there's and then canned foods. It's hard to find cans of food because those are non-perishable.
right,
Uh, Spaghetti, it was a little hard to find. Macaroni was easy to find. But like, if I was making a survival bunker,
yeah.
I would have some form of underground irrigation, and I'd have an agricultural system underground, like Minecraft type shit.
I was gonna say talking about Minecraft right now.
Like, I'd have some type of way to focus the power of the sun through a collection of mirrors to get to my underground base and to grow plants. You have to think longevity. Like, once you run out of food, you're done. If there's like a nuclear apocalypse, you got to be able to reproduce down there, baby. You know what I mean? You got to have a doctor's
Yeah,
office, an infirmary.
yeah. I I don't think it's necessary, but it's a good idea. I support it.
Could you ever see yourself doing that?
No,
Like, you would never be you would never have
no,
like a bunker in your house
no,
ever.
no.
Say you're like 60
Yep,
and you're like, okay, well, World War Five is about to start.
yep,
They might invade the U.S. At that
yep.
point, what do you think about it? You just let them
No,
come?
there'll never be a battle on U.S. soil.
It can't happen here.
No, dude, no, 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 no. It can't. We have too many missiles and barriers around us to let
Oh,
anybody come in
we
here.
have a big ocean too. How they're gonna get across that, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's interesting too, because the U.S. like when we have a big thing like this happen, we never had stuff happen on our own soil.
No.
Like 9/11's one thing. That was a terrorist attack, very
Yeah,
pinpoint. But
yeah,
there was never an ongoing conflict that shut
right.
shit down here. Like European countries, they freaking blew up like 5,000 times in the past 100 years.
Yeah.
But America, we're kind of sitting here across the pond. We're like, hey, we have big guns. And then we just like do that. We shoot, blow up the Middle East. We never
Yeah.
have any repercussions here. But now we're kind of feeling like I forget who made the point. But Americans are kind of feeling what it feels like to be in like a third world country type of situation.
Because of disease.
Not third world, but lesser than America. Because you go
Right.
to the grocery store, you're worried like, oh no, is this safe? And you're also worried like, okay, can I actually find what I need to survive? That kind of thing. Because
Hmm.
I mean, other countries, they always say like, oh God, socialism's going to lead to empty shelves during crisis. But now we see capitalism and individualism. We're like, oh no, I need to take care of myself and I'm not going to help anyone else
Right.
or whatever. So, I mean, I guess we're kind of feeling what Argentina feels like.
Oh,
That's just my example of like a first world country that's like all messed up.
Yeah.
Like, do we know anyone from there?
Where's Franco
Where's
from?
Franco from? Was that Argentina or Brazil?
Argentina, I
It was
think.
Argentina.
Yeah, where's Ginobili from?
Ginobili's Argentina.
Yeah, it's Argentina then.
Yo, shout out to Argentina.
Yeet.
Yeah. So, what are your plans during this entire thing? How are you coping with?
I haven't. The farthest I have left my house was Forest Hills,
Yeah. So,
which is like so. There's a fire company. It's 10 seconds from my house. That's the farthest I've been when since whenever we came home.
and are they
Because
closing down then?
yeah, so I was only down there because so my dad cooks for like Lent. They do like takeout, like he makes fish
Uh,
and mac and cheese and all good stuff, and then people were ordering takeout.
yeah, that
That
makes
was it.
sense.
Yeah, but I mean, like I literally my day consists of the same thing every day. I wake up, and then if I have class, I do class stuff, and then I play Xbox, and then I eat, and then I go to sleep. It's my whole day every day.
Yeah, and Xbox keeps on shutting down on us.
Yeah, you would think they'd be stronger now than ever because like they need to keep that up and running so people can be playing.
Mm.
They should like have some sort of like if Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo would like could capitalize and have like a big like game sale
Hmm.
so people can buy like a shit ton of games. I'd be
Ubisoft
down.
have Ubisoft is having something. I don't know
Yeah,
if
but
that's like
name a good Ubisoft game.
Assassin's Creed. You play Assassin's Creed every day.
I already have that though. It doesn't count.
Yeah, who I don't know what else they made, like Watch Dogs and like Assassin's Creed.
Isn't Watch Dogs bad?
Eh, it's a bad GTA clone with hacking, basically.
Hmm.
The driving feels like you're playing SimCity if you could drive the cars.
Right.
Like it's so robotic. It's not an up-to-date game in my opinion, but it's whatever.
I was talking about seeing if I can let somebody like if I could rent someone's PS4 and play Spider Man.
Oh yeah, I forgot you never got to play that because of console
No.
exclusives.
Yeah. I was gonna see if maybe like Snitch would let me like rent his PS4 just for Spider Man. Then I'll get back to him.
Well, yeah, the new consoles are being released. Well, not released, but announced right now, like the specs and everything.
That already came out.
Like I mean, like the Xbox, the next Xbox and
Yeah, it already came
PS5.
out, didn't it?
No, the PS5 and Xbox, the new Xbox.
I know.
Like
I'm saying
the
didn't
specs came
those?
out.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh,
You said
okay,
they
yeah,
didn't.
yeah, they
Yeah.
did. But
Yeah.
they're probably stronger than my computer right now, and my computer's pretty decent.
Right.
So this is gonna be able to play any Xbox game of all time, basically,
That's kind of dope.
and it's gonna be as powerful as a PC. And I think they're trying to blend everything together. So the Xbox and the PC are gonna be basically the same thing. So you could get the entire Xbox library on a PC. So
But
like
can you get the PC library on an Xbox?
no. So I
Mm.
think it's going to lead to a lot of people getting more PCs. Because why would I
Yeah.
buy another Xbox when I could buy a PC upgrade
Yeah. Right.
instead and play the exact same games and then play all the Steam games
Right.
and all of that?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never been a PC guy personally. It's
Mhm.
just, I mean, I don't know where I'd even put it if I had one.
Well, that's the future. So this whole thing is probably going to last, like this whole quarantine experience. I'm guessing until June. So that's around 68 days, around that, around a
That's
little more
two
than 2 months.
months.
Yeah, and the peak of this entire thing, like in New York and stuff, I imagine we're gonna have at least, oh boy, at minimum, there's gonna be over 250,000 people dead in the U.S., I think.
Oh.
And
Didn't PA have its first death today?
yeah, but
Nice.
people keep looking at this. They started off by saying, "Oh, look, it's only one case or it's only 30 cases and one person dead. It's not even a big deal." And then they said, "Oh, it's only 300 cases and 10 dead. It's not a big deal." And then they said, "Oh, it's only 1,000 cases and 50 dead. It's not a big deal." And then they
Right.
said, "Oh, it's only 10,000 cases and 150 deaths. It's not a big deal."
Right.
It's gonna keep on growing. And these freaking idiot college students at freaking spring break in Florida right now, they have to shut down the beaches in Florida because that's gonna be
Yeah, I
the
heard
epicenter.
that. Yeah.
What are they gonna do when all these kids go back? They're like, "Hey, grandma, hey, grandma, I missed you," and Grammy's in the freaking hospital next week with a respirator on, dying from coronavirus.
Yo, man. YOLO.
I have to get really crunk tonight. I cannot worry about no coronavirus. I'm immune anyway. Had it last month. Like, this
Had
is
it
what
last
people
month.
are literally thinking when they're in these beaches right now, and it's kind of crazy.
I don't I don't get it. I mean, I get like if you're like for us like if you wanted to hang out with someone like from the same town as you and there's like you know that they don't have it, you know you don't have it, like that's different than going to a different state or a different city and just mingling with everyone you see.
Mhm.
That's completely different.
That's why I'm worried about what I'm worried about right now is basically like being in contact with people who don't know they have it yet, since they could transmit it when they don't know it yet
Right.
before they have any symptoms. So I'm kind of like asking, like I was talking to Brady, like, "Hey, have you been around anyone?" Like, it's I think a good thing to compare it to, and I didn't tell you this yet, but I think the spread among college students, especially, is kind of like STDs because you know the risk is there, but who
But you
really
do it
cares enough to
anyway.
check? Yeah, you do
Yeah.
it anyway. Who really cares enough to check? It spreads like wildfire. Half the time you don't know you have one. Like, do you agree with that
And then
analogy?
you just feel bad about yourself afterwards. Um,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I mean, that does kind of make sense. Because when you're in the intimate situation, you don't give a shit about anything except the thing you're trying to
Yeah.
do. So like, if the thing you're trying to do is have a good time and party and get fucked up, then you're not gonna think about the repercussions until
Yeah, it's just
they're already
another,
there.
like, it's like in spring break right now. They're not caring about anything else. They care about getting, they're already, I mean, they're wasted at all hours.
Right,
So there's not one time where they're thinking clearly.
right.
But they're like animals, and their only drive is being on the beach and getting.
I don't know why I thought of this, but have you ever heard of like evening out?
Yeah, isn't that when you wake up in the morning after you drink a lot and you drink a little bit more so you don't get really.
Yeah, yeah. That's a day that people. That's what people do on spring break or on vacation.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous
So
game to
there's not
play
one time in the day when
because
they're
that's
like,
the worst part about like besides getting corona. The worst part about stopping evening out is at some point you have to stop, and then your hangover each time you keep drinking just keeps multiplying because you keep
mhm.
drinking more and more and more, and it makes it bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah. So these kids are out here catching, like, at least STDs. It only affects the idiot that does it.
Yeah,
But, like,
yeah. You want to explain what's going on there?
I have a sock hand.
Okay.
This one is Dr. J sock. I don't know if you
Didn't
could do.
I got you those socks, didn't I?
Yeah, you might have. Dr. J right there. They're dope socks. And they're not like loud or anything, so I can wear them with what they're comfortable. Stan socks.
They're
They're not
not
like pop. They're not like
loud.
colorful.
I
Like
know what you mean. I know what you
like
mean.
I have
Yeah.
Allen Iverson ones. They're all red and black. What was I saying?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, STDs only affect people that do it. But this stuff you
Right.
could freaking sneeze. You could shoot a projectile missile launcher of death towards grandma at any moment.
Imagine if that's how STDs actually work, though.
Like you just sneeze. Wait, but
Yeah.
they're sexually transmitted. The
But
only
I'm
difference
saying
between an STD and a D is
the S.
D, T, S, D, S, T, S, T, S, T, D.
Mm.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
What else is going on?
This.
This will be going on for a long time. So, like, a lot of people don't have money now. They're not working.
What? Oh.
All right,
Well,
so
when are we getting the relief checks?
remember the Great Depression?
Yeah, kind of.
Imagine something worse than that.
I wasn't there, but I heard about it.
Well, I'm suffering it right now, but so the highest unemployment rate during the Great Depression was 25%.
Right.
Guess where the unemployment rate is supposed to be in a couple of months?
48.
30. Well, 30.
Damn.
It's still like a crazy amount.
Right.
But what they're trying to do right now, what the Republicans want to do, it's not just free checks. So it's only for taxpayers, so we wouldn't get it because we're in
Damn.
school in,
Wait,
in
we pay
2018.
taxes. You
Well,
pay
in
taxes
2018,
if you
federal
have a job.
taxes. And like actual taxable income, like a tax bracket, you have to make a certain amount of money.
Oh.
So there's $1,000, even if you get it. What
Yeah.
they want to do is it's more like a loan than a grant.
What?
So it'll be taken. Your taxes will be $1,000 higher next year if you get their plan's money.
What is it, like a war bond?
So you have to pay it back.
Yeah.
What they should be doing is, I mean, when they bail out the banks, when they bail out all that stuff, they have to pay it back. But we need a stimulus straight to people that they don't have to pay back because that's been long overdue anyway.
Right.
So what like Sanders wants to do is give money directly to people's hands and say, that's it, you don't have to pay it back. We need the middle class to be strong. People need money for rent. People need to be able to survive for our economy not to collapse. The big banks could survive fine without this money, but the actual people need it. And the Republicans, with all this fake $1,000, they're fake caring. With it, they're trying to squeeze in a bunch of bailouts for big companies and big banks and all that. So they're screwing over the middle class while pretending they actually care. And like, obviously, social media won't show you that nuance. And if you try to tell somebody that, they'll call you fake news. But that's what they're trying to do.
Right.
So they just gotta cut checks, dude. If they don't cut checks soon, then it's just gonna go bad. People are gonna be out in the streets, and it just won't be.
The great Marshawn Lynch once said, "Protect the chickens."
Protect your chickens, and that's
Protect your chickens.
that's a really good note to end on. I guess protect your chickens. So what else is Marshawn Lynch?
Protect your chickens.
Marshawn Lynch, social distancing when you're quarantined. You know why I'm here as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, better get your Skittles, enjoy your snacks, enjoy your Netflix shows. Any show recommendations for quarantine?
Ozarks season 3 is coming out on Friday.
Oh yeah, I gotta watch that.
Yeah.
Little Dicky Dave
Little Dicky
is coming out
Dave,
every
yes.
Thursday.
Is it? No, it's Wednesday. It's on
Is it
Thursday.
Wednesday? Thursday's Hulu.
It's on. Yeah, it's on Thursdays on Hulu, but it comes on FXX on
Yeah,
Wednesdays.
shout out to Cam for being the plug on Hulu. On a lone faithful night on at 4 a.m. I watched a Little Dicky.
You watch that at 4 a.m.
Yeah, Little Dicky pleasuring himself to a picture of Drake.
It
Which is
wasn't.
very
No, wait,
interesting.
it wasn't to Drake. Drake was just there watching over
For the
him.
post-nut clarity.
Yeah,
It was terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible experience for Little Dicky. Feels very, very bad for him. But like overall, what would be your review of the show, 1 through 10, plus first impressions, since it's a new series?
All right. So first of all, let's do it. So first episode was great. I really like. It's a relatable show, like in the sense of like you can tell that that's how he is as a person.
Yeah,
And like.
and we're white too, so he's
Yeah.
really white. It's
Yeah,
like
like
white, so
he's
we're-
white, yeah, like white, everything.
Yeah,
right?
white. It's relatable being white kids or white guys since we're like 20 now, listening to hip hop
Yeah,
because we're
And-
like, hey guys.
he's also like not like a super popular rapper yet, and like it kind of talks about how he's getting up there to be popular, and that's relatable too. And like he goes through like regular guy problems that like even celebrities go through, so that's
Mhm.
kind of cool to watch. I'd give it maybe an 8 because
Yeah,
it does lack some story or some like content, but it's only 3
Mhm.
episodes in. But I'm sure they'll build on that as it goes.
Yeah, I don't know how they would make it better. I think it's in probably the best form that it could be. I mean,
Right.
it'll get better over time,
Right.
obviously. His girlfriend in the show is from his music video
Pillow
for
talking.
Pillow Talking,
Mhm.
and I actually watched an interview of her, and she said that they barely knew each other. She did that video with Little Dicky for that, and during the video
Yeah.
recording, he's like, "I want to make a TV show so bad," and that was a couple years, like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that was
right?
a while ago. Yeah.
So now, I guess she got his number. She said, "Can I please come for the movie or for the TV show and to try out?" He's like, "Okay, yeah, sure." So she came back 4 years later, and she had to try out at every single tryout event. She was kind of like the last standing.
I'm sure she had some pull.
She definitely
'cause-
had some pull,
Yeah.
but she said she had to go to every single event, and she survived each one, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, and apparently
Like a gauntlet.
I saw something like her boyfriend produced Little Dicky's first ever music video. So there's definitely
Oh yeah. Oh, she had major pull then.
yeah, she was definitely in there
Yeah.
already.
This wasn't no like rising hero story. She was in from the beginning.
Yeah, it's like, oh, my boyfriend knows this guy, Little Dicky. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. I think all the actors are pretty good. Did you say you had a favorite character?
Gata.
Gata. Okay.
Gata is the man, dude.
Yeah.
He's so funny.
I followed him on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, his name's actually Gata, I think.
I got.
I
Yeah,
don't know, it
because
might be
it
his
says
last name or
that.
something.
It says that in the credits. It just says Gata. Gatta.
Apparently, the producer guy, what's his name from Dave, Little
He's
Dicky's
a.
producer?
I forget his. I forget what his name, but he's a comedian.
He's
I
he's
forget
like an
his
actual
name.
thing. Like I looked him
Yeah.
up, he had 1 million followers on
Yeah.
Instagram. I'm like, oh, he's actually like sort
Yeah,
of
he's
popular.
a comedian.
Yeah, and the latest episode, he had a bunch of celebrities, other rappers, Trippie Red, Young Thug, and Gunna.
Yo,
were on
Trippie
there.
Red. He was weird. was a weird
YG was
guy.
on there. Yeah, Trippie
Yeah.
Red does look like, I forget what Brady said about him, but the way he like a caveman,
Yeah.
because he like jumps around, goes ooh ooh a lot like a caveman would, and like has
Yeah.
the tattoos all over his face, and he's
Yeah.
always wearing like teeth around his chain and all
Right.
that. He always like growls at people and screams.
And it says like 3 words a sentence.
Yeah, interesting collection of rappers on there so far. No one that's a really hard like lyric for lyric guy.
Yeah.
Like a good collection. Like Young Thug is more of an auto crooner, like auto tune. Gunna is more of an auto tune. Trippie Red is more auto tune. So it's more of that generation. And then YG was on there, which is obviously like West Coast. West Coast. I mean,
when the producer guy was trying to say Ty Dolla Sign.
Ty Dolla $ign.
Yeah, Ty Dolla Sign. Ty Dolla Sign.
I wasn't
Oh, yeah.
expecting him to be the manager.
Yeah, I wasn't either.
Like when he okay,
What
honestly, when he was
I
at
was I was confused on his role in the show in general until now.
yeah, just a roommate, and then
Yeah,
he quits his financial job, and I was confused when he was at the party trying to talk to girls, because the way he dresses and stuff, when he
yeah.
was talking to the guy in the corner, I instantly thought like, oh
He'd be
crap,
gay.
yeah,
Yeah.
instantly. Like I was thinking like, okay, he went up to the girl, he like he told her a joke, and then he like
Went too
yelled at
far.
her.
Yeah.
What was he talking about? Like stealing his idea for
Yeah, for I remember too. I forget what it is, but I remember like what you're talking about because she thought that it was an actual good idea, and I forget what it was.
oh, I want to remember now.
So
But he's
what?
like, if you steal my ID, I'm taking you to court. I swear to God, I actually took one of my old guys back to court. I freaking destroyed him. And he got like actually mad, and like she
Yeah.
walked away like,
And then
okay.
yeah, he's like, no, I'm kidding.
Yeah, so he walks to the corner of the party. He's like sitting alone. He's like drinking. He's drinking, and he's on his phone. And this other guy walks up, and he starts like, "Oh, I'm interested in your job." And I'm
Yeah,
like, "Oh, he's gay. He's gonna be gay, or
straight
he's gonna
gay.
like
Yeah,
do something different right now."
right.
Yeah, and then we had the milking scene to top that episode off, which was very interesting.
It's so weird. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
him trying to navigate.
It's so
Just,
weird.
I want to know who made up the storyline. Like, okay, I
Oh,
had a
definitely
like
he did.
that little Dicky had this. Yeah, he's like friggin' Dalton when it comes to this stuff and character
Yeah,
creation.
yeah.
Like he's just kind of crazy. So he was thinking like, okay, so this guy has a surgery at birth. His dick is made of balls. There are
Ball
two
skin,
holes, ball skin.
yeah. Yes, it's too
Like he
hard.
has to be doing something like DMT or something
Mm.
awful. Yeah, and that's a good show recommendation. There's actually a series on YouTube, not YouTube, Netflix
There
called
you go.
Pandemic.
Oh, I
And
heard about that.
yeah, and it literally like details everything that already happened step
People,
by
I've
step.
heard, I've heard people are not recommending that because of how scary it is, of how like real it is,
It's boring. It's not scary if you like look at, if you pay attention to stuff. I guess it is scary when you're like, oh crap. Like
or just how accurate it is, and like
Bill
how that's
Gates
what.
predicted 4 years ago that there would be a deadly virus and it would be a different type of virus. And the difference about this particular virus will be that it doesn't show up for a long time, like symptom wise.
But see, how would he know that?
Well, that's what the prediction was. Because he's worth $100 billion, and he has a lot of research going towards this. Because he tried to eradicate certain diseases.
Oh, so wait, so he didn't really say like he's not a prophet. He had
Oh no, yeah, he
scientists.
has stuff to back it
Okay,
up. But he's
okay,
like the
yeah.
ideal virus to kill the world would be a symptomless virus that you could still transmit because then people are going to get on the planes with it and they'll be
Mhm.
like, I'm fine. And then they get a test and they have it and they're on spring break spreading it to people. So this exact virus has been predicted since 2016. In 2018, Donald Trump cut our entire pandemic response team, all of our experts. On the way out, they said, Donald, don't cut us. If you cut us, bad things are going to happen. We're expecting a pandemic soon. Donald's like, I don't care about pandemics. I am made of gold. And then ships them out. He cuts the Center for Disease Control, the CDC. He
Yeah.
cuts that in like half. So we spend $800 billion almost on military. We spend 1% on pandemic response and pandemic preparedness.
Why do we need that much money for our military? No, like, we're not involved in anything right now, are we?
No, we just
So then,
it's bad. It's just so we could give money to a bunch of people that make money off of war. So like there's certain
but there
companies
are no
that
wars.
well, that's why they're pushing for Iran. They'll make money off of that. They'll make money off of military production. Like we have a bunch of tanks laying around we're never going to use.
Right.
We just need to keep producing to meet quotas because if we don't meet quotas in certain areas will lose the money. So we actually have had situations where certain states will dump oil in the ocean so that they used it because if they don't use it, they miss their quota and won't get the same funding. So they're purposely burning through stuff, but only 1% was for disease control. And look what's freaking happening. The entire world's coming to a halt. So you would think we should be spending a little bit more money on preventing another self-quarantine time.
That makes too much sense.
And we're going to have the same situation in a couple of years with climate change. Like Australia had fire tornadoes.
Right.
And
Right.
like they literally like that sounds like something from a freaking video game.
Yeah.
And once we get those, we're like, "Oh, we're done."
It's like Sharknado, but instead of sharks, it's fire.
Dude, if there's actually a Sharknado someday, I'll be so happy. Wasn't Mark
So would
Cuban in
I,
Sharknado?
honestly. Mm, I don't know.
I swear Mark Cuban was involved in
I've
Sharknado.
never seen any Sharknadoes. I've seen like bits and pieces, but never. Now Venom, I've seen the end of Venom with the deadly snake.
Yeah. So there's one conversation I just thought about. So
Okay,
since the NBA is postponing their season,
sure.
if they came back in June, how do you think they should resume? Should they just wait till next season and cancel everything now? Should they do a playoff format with whatever teams are in? Should they do a tournament format?
Well, so starting playoffs, how they usually do in June would not work because playoffs start in April and they don't end till June.
Hmm.
So that's 3 months right there. So what? The June that's they would be done by like the beginning, the middle of August, and then they start up in October, don't they? So there's no way that would ever happen.
Maybe.
There was like if they were to start up by April or May, they could see. I don't know.
Like the
I
end of
don't
May,
know.
maybe.
Yeah, but like by the end of the May, it's you're in the finals because the
I was
finals
thinking
are June.
maybe if they used the playoff teams as they're set right now, if there's like an AC, they could have like a one game type of deal, winner takes all, like a March
Yeah,
Madness type of deal.
yeah.
And maybe they could do instead of 7 games, they'll do best of
Like
5.
five. Yeah,
Yeah, like best of 5, like you're in a freaking my career mode or
they
my
could.
GM mode and
They,
adjust
yeah, I
it.
was gonna say they could do what. So what I do from my fantasy drafts is I do for playoffs. I do the first round's best of three, second round's best of five. The conference finals are seven, and the finals are seven. Because then it speeds up the first 2 rounds because they're not really series anyway. Like it's people don't really care until it's the conference and then actual finals.
Yeah, so maybe do 5-5-5-7 to cut it all down. And if there's a team close in the 8th seed, because I think it's unfair for teams who may have gotten
That's what I
in.
was saying to Dalton. Yeah, like that's not fair to teams who are like right on the edge.
So maybe even we could say 1 through 6 is locked in, and we could do like 7 through 10 has to play. So 7 plays 10 in one game, and 8 plays 9 in one game,
Do you
and
have
whoever
time for
wins
that?
gets in. Well, you would cut down a round by doing that. You cut down an entire round.
Oh, is that the first round you mean?
Yeah. So like you'd have 6 teams be on bye weeks basically. So you actually no, you're right.
Well, just say because you're still getting 8 teams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. But they could get it done quickly with 1 game. They could have them all the same night if they needed to.
Well, then you're
They don't
still
need
adding an
fans.
extra round.
They could do it without fans to try to expedite the process.
Well, they could do that hiatus or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a really sketchy thing. They might have to cancel the entire season.
If they don't come back before, if they don't come back before May, I would just leave it as it is.
Like I would say cancel it outright, but this country might need something. Like people are gonna be freaking
But
depressed. They might
what
need
would you
some
do?
time.
Like you can't just buy. Like you can't. Like it's dumb to say okay. Like the top 2 teams. Like if they put like the Lakers and Bucks and just had the finals like that. That would suck for the other 7 teams on like in each conference, and it might not be the Bucks and Lakers. Like we don't know. But then it's also not fair to cut the whole season and then you have guys losing a whole year off their career.
Hmm. Yeah, and
I don't know.
like Vince Carter is retiring, so he's
Yeah.
done. I can't see any more regular season being played.
But you also got to look at it as like what we're talking about with like the high schools and graduation.
Mm.
Because like, what if they bring the season back and
Yeah,
then someone got the virus?
yeah, that makes sense.
I would. I don't know. I mean, I wasn't even thinking. I was just thinking about from a time frame perspective and not the disease perspective. But if they
Yeah,
bring the season back and someone's sick, that could be a problem.
yeah, it'll keep spreading throughout the entire league.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying.
Then
Like
any fans they interact with,
things aren't gonna be the same, like completely the same like they were 2 weeks ago
yeah.
until 2021, probably. Until mid 2021, probably June 2021.
Are you serious?
Like completely the same. Like when you go to the mall, you go to the barber from now on, it's gonna be a careful situation for a long time. Like we're gonna be May might be when things open back up, but it's not gonna be like they were before.
Right.
Like I wouldn't be surprised if we started having, like in China, for example, or even South Korea, certain Asian cultures. You might have seen this around E-Town in college too. They wear face masks everywhere to protect from pollution, allergens, and like the smog in China. We might be doing that. I mean, it's crazy. And we were spending 1% of our military budget on this. And we're
No, I'm
spending
just
0.1% of our entire budget on preventing this. Like, are you
no,
kidding me?
no, I'm just sad.
You know,
It's just sad.
it is 2 a.m. Wait, is
Shit.
2 a.m. sad boy hours or is 3 a.m.?
I thought it was 3 a.m. Is
3
it?
a.m. 2 a.m. 2
Look it
or
up
is it
real quick.
2 a.m. or 3 a.m.? I don't know.
Yo, Jamie, pull that shit up.
Yo, Jamie, pull that shit up. When is sad boy hours? The time of night when you listen to lo-fi music and cry a lot.
Oh, it's between 1 a.m. to 5 a.m.
That makes sense. So I don't know where I'm gonna put this video.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'll put it on like a different. I don't know. Maybe I'll put it on my Patreon. I have one person on there. That one guy will really enjoy this.
Start a poll.
You right.
I mean, I mean, we got like YouTube, Spotify, Soundtrap.
Hmm. Yeah, put it on SoundCloud for sure.
Oh yeah, there you
Yep. All right. So no one's gonna watch this far into it, but if you did watch this far into it,
go.
thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Maybe we'll do this again. Shout out to all my buds out there. Shout out to my libtards
I didn't
across
even
the
notice you were
globe.
wearing that.
Peace out.